After Beijing, our next stop is just 45 minutes away. We're going to my dad's hometown, Tianjin. For this trip, we're taking the high-speed rail, which travels at 300 kilometers or 186 miles per hour. It's so fast, the trip is shorter than crossing Beijing from end to end. I was surprised that between these two neighboring metropoles, there are plenty of farmland still. In Tianjin, we're staying in the former Italian concession district, right by Haihe, or the ocean river. Our place was built in the 90s, but decked out like Versailles. Marble floors, gilded columns, huge chandeliers, and even a Napoleon portrait in the lobby. It takes retro European kitsch to a whole new level. But once we got to our apartment on the 28th floor, wow, this view is absolutely breathtaking. For lunch, we hit up a restaurant called 食在老味, literally tasting the familiar flavors. It has a Qing dynasty style decor, simple but elegant. It specializes in home-style stir-fries and, of course, baozi, or steamed buns. We started with 3 cold salads to get our appetite going on a hot day. And yes, it was 29 degrees Celsius, which is 84 Fahrenheit. First was the celery, cauliflower, and carrot salad, tossed with a garlic, peppercorn, and white vinegar dressing. It was super simple, but so refreshing. It made me wonder why I don't make it at home more often. Next, 土豆丝, or stir-fried shredded potato. If you only ever had French fries or mashed potatoes, you won't believe these are crispy without being deep-fried. Next up, the sea kelp salad, which is thin and smooth. I would say it tastes like if the ocean is sweet and garlicky. Then came Tianjin's favorite, Chao San Yang, or stir-fried 3 parts. So what are the 3 parts? In our case, it was pork liver, kidneys, and meat. Yes, your cholesterol will go up, but it's an indulgence only for those special days, like when you're really stressed out from work. Anyway, it's a classic with heavy soy sauce and ginger seasoning. A skilled chef will make crosscuts on the kidneys, so it curves up and soaks up all the seasoning, and the livers are chopped super thin to neutralize the gaminess. For me, a picky foodie, I have to admit it's a little overcooked. If you ever want to try these, go to a place that's well known for this dish. Otherwise, it'll be a hit or miss. Of course, we can't skip baozi, aka steamed buns. We order their signature ground pork and chunky braised pork buns. And oh yeah, in northern China, folks eat a lot of pork. It's definitely the meat of choice. And people eat a lot of wheat flour products like buns, dumplings, and noodles. So you will keep seeing permutations of these ingredients, whether they're steamed, stir-fried, baked, boiled. My grandma is a diehard for steamed dumplings and buns, and she would insist on making them for every festival and birthdays. You will never deny or defy the buns, and everyone needs to pitch in and help. Anyway, the ground pork fillings are juicy and not too salty, but the skin was a little too puffy and didn't have enough of the chewy, doughy bite that I prefer. We also tried the soy braised pork with radish buns. Again, the light and fluffy skin didn't quite stand up to the chunkier filling. By the way, if you wonder about the regional differences in buns, it's undeniable. Tianjin and the rest of the north prefers larger, fluffier buns with simple pork and chive fillings. Shanghai's delicate xiaolongbao, famous for the bursts of juicy fillings, use unleavened dough, which makes the skin thin and elastic. Canton's hargao use rice skins, which are translucent and bouncy. Each regional version is special in its own way. After lunch, we started our grand tour. We last visited Tianjin in 2000, which was 25 years ago. We passed the century clock, crossed the Liberation Bridge, walked through the old neighborhoods, and through time itself. Even though the city has many new buildings, it's done just as much to restore the old. The best part is that Tianjin has a newfound appreciation and willingness to preserve its complicated history. Tianjin was the richest city in the north a century ago, and it's still one of China's largest seaports. But it's often overshadowed by the political power of the nearby capital city. Between the mid-1800s and 1900s, it was subjected to colonialism and was the center of foreign powers in China. The English, French, Italians all carved out districts in the city called concessions. In the same time, they left magnificent European architecture, introduced Western arts, and even installed China's first passenger elevator, which you can find in the Astor Hotel today. It's a fascinating blend of cultures, where you can walk from an Italian-style piazza to a British-style horse race tracks in just a few blocks. Turn-of-the-century industrialists, intellectuals, and socialites from all over the world lived or passed through here, making it truly cosmopolitan hub. My dad and his family lived in the Wudadao neighborhood, or 5 major avenues. Like many old single-family homes in the area, it has since been demolished. But we're glad some of these historical buildings are preserved, and signs have been created for them, sharing the stories of both famous and notorious from that turbulent time. It's a way of honoring and remembering the past. For dinner, we went to Zhenbao, aka Pearl and Treasure Restaurant. This is a classic Tianjin establishment, famous for its seafood dumplings. As soon as you enter the dining room, you can see skilled chefs through a glass window, making beautiful buns and dumplings at an incredible speed. We ordered some amazing dishes. The majiang dusi, or shredded pig stomach in sesame sauce, is some of the freshest pig stomach I've tasted. We started with half of the sesame sauce, then realized we need to add the rest because it has such a toasty nuttiness without being too rich. It's chewy but not tough, and the bristles soaks up all the seasoning. When you bite into it, you get these little pops of flavor. We also had seafood simmered with tofu. This dish takes full advantage of Tianjin's location near the sea, with a variety of fresh seafood, all braised in a light soy sauce and starch slurry. You'll see that the Swiss slices have thin crosscuts across the surface, so when it's cooked, it curls up around itself, looking like a little porcupine. This technique, also called flower cutting, doesn't just look beautiful, but also helps the squid absorbs more flavor. The shrimp, clams, and shiitake mushroom all add to the umami-rich flavor. The pre-fried spongy tofu at the bottom is a real star of the show here, soaking up all the delicious sauce and seafood flavors. This dish perfectly showcases the city's love for both the land and the sea ingredients. Last but not least, we finally had some Sanxian, or 3 delights dumplings, with chives, pork, and shrimp. The pungency of the chives, the richness of the pork, and the bouncy and sweet shrimp combine for a perfect bite. But the key is the dumpling skin. The ones here are much better in my opinion. Just the right thickness, so you get that doughy feeling without being too chewy. There are some dumpling skins that are so chewy, they feel like a workout for my jaw muscles. And to make it even better, you dunk it in a mix of chili oil and black vinegar. Now you have the full flavor spectrum covered. And for dessert, there's nothing better than fresh seasonal watermelon in the summer. Summer nights in Tianjin are like a nightly carnival. All along Haihe, people set up makeshift karaoke stations, belt out songs for the applause of their friends and strangers alike. Whether it's the pop song from last week or from the last century, everyone can find their musical tribe. Under the bright neon lights, the city come alive, with a heart that's forever young. Thank you for watching. See you next time.